Metallica did it! For years, Metallica fans have been patiently awaiting the new music by the thrash metal legends, and so now they have finally been rewarded. And so without any preludes, let's take a look at what did the boys prepare for us with Lux Æterna, their first song in 6 years, as well as talk about their upcoming studio record 72 Seasons and a one-of-a-kind world tour which is set to happen next year. Here you go. Right with the opening notes, Metallica shows that Lux Æterna is set to take a listener on a high-speed roller coaster, structured straight out of the late 70s, early 80s metal textbook, of course mixed with a more modern Metallica sound. The main riff is rather simple yet very catchy, and by its structure is slightly reminiscent of the earliest Metallica days, with this classic 80s call and response between the main lick and a straightforward shred. And yet, even though just like in the early days, you can undeniably hear the strong influences of such bands as Diamond Head, it still sounds very 21st century-like. Almost like if Metallica is not really trying to sound like the early self, but rather is trying to reimagine what they would have sounded like today with the same influences they had when they were young. And Diamond Head is of course not the only one heard here.
You know.
What is also very surprising here is James Hetfield's voice, who sounds unexpectedly fresh and relaxed, which is honestly just a very pleasant surprise to any Metallica fan after everything Papa had went through lately. And of course the overall production of the song, in which, are you sitting? You can hear all 4 instruments used. By the way, if the term Lux Æterna sounds familiar to you, it's because most likely it is. It of course originated from a Catholic Requiem Mass, yet has been widely adapted into the popular culture as a theme to the popular movie Requiem for a Dream, which is one of those genius movies you absolutely have to watch, but you never kind of want to see again. Yet, the song's lyrics are not about the petty nostalgia or in savvy way to remember the honorable dead who have helped Metallica to get where they are at today. But it is about celebrating your life and living it today, in this moment. Basically making it a "You've Got Another Thing Coming" by Metallica. So yeah, I personally absolutely love this track, and yes, there is a possibility that it just came at the right place at the right time for me personally, but this is pretty much exactly what I personally expected from Metallica today in 2022, with the band sounding somewhat old school, yet very modern at the same time. And in addition, that guitar tone and overall song structure kinda takes you back down your memory lane many years ago, but at the same time keeps me personally very much excited about what is to come. Anyway, now would be a really good time to subscribe to the Metal Pilgrim channel and comment what you personally think about this track if you haven't done that yet. So do it. Yet, the new song was of course not the only thing with which Metallica surprised their fans. Together with the new track, the thrash metal legends also announced their new studio album titled 72 Seasons, which will be released on the 14th of April next year. The album will consist of 12 new songs by Metallica, including of course the one which was released today. That's 77 minutes of brand new music by the thrash metal legends, and is of course already available for pre-order in various formats on Metallica.com, including the 5th members only collectible vinyl, which I really want to get. The artwork depicts a bunch of scattered and burned out items, with a kid's crib being a centerpiece on a bright yellow background, which, and I know that Metallica is most likely not going for this, but because of my personal experience, it just reminds me of everything that is going on here in Ukraine and all those images we get on almost a daily basis from the destroyed cities. And by the way guys, I heard this song and I'm recording this video in almost a complete blackout here in Kyiv, Ukraine. I'm just really happy that my lamp turns out to be working from a power bank. So guys, please, no matter whether you like this song or this review or not, do not forget that the biggest war since World War II is going on right now in the middle of Europe, and please continue supporting Ukraine in any way you possibly can. But anyways, the title 72 Seasons most likely points out to the time it took Metallica to record this record, since I mean there are 4 seasons each year and the last Metallica's album, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, was released exactly 6 years ago. What? And yes, during those brief 6 years, both Metallica and the world has gone through a lot. And it actually looks like it's going to be the very first album in the Metallica discography to feature the band's name on the artwork, yet to not feature a Metallica logo on it. Nerd. The only other album without any write-ins on it is of course Saint Anger, and I guess technically there is another record to not feature a Metallica logo, and that one would be Lulu, but it never happened. But anyways, in addition to everything above, Metallica has also finally announced the first dates for their 2023 summer run, which looks like it's going to be the strangest and the most genius tour in Metallica history. The M72 World Tour will kick off on the 27th of April next year in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, continuing throughout Europe and North America. And what of course is the most unusual thing about the upcoming World Tour is that in each of those locations, Metallica will actually play 2 nights, with 2 totally different setlists and with 2 absolutely different opening acts. And this, I'll be very honest with you, is the most genius idea I've heard in a long time, since A, it actually cuts down transportation and organization costs by a lot. B, it allows Metallica to plan for 3 days of activities for their fans in each of those cities, which of course will include a lot of black end parties, and which, let's be honest here, we Metallica fans do not mind at all, since it actually was one of the most fun parts about the Metallica 40th anniversary last year.
Yes, that's true.
But most importantly, it will be twice as much fun for every Metallica fan, who will be both coming from the city they play in and also from many, many miles away. So yes, I am very much excited for that tour, and I truly hope that I will be able to visit it next year. And what about you? What do you guys personally think about the first single released by Metallica? And are you excited for the upcoming tour and the album? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this very short and a very spontaneous video. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new to Metal Pilgrim, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!